Creativity will always be the variable. So this one's a big one for us in 2017. I remember talking to a friend of mine's dad about 12 years ago, and he was a big ad man back in London, and I was talking to him at the time about YouTube. It was all YouTube viral videos back then with a new thing, and I asked him about it, and he said, look, advertising and marketing doesn't change. The channels change, but creativity is always the variable. Original thinking is always the variable, and we're putting a big emphasis on that for 2017.
And I think in a practical sense, if you actually look at the ecosystem of what we're talking about with brands becoming their own media companies, what's interesting, so I'll tell you a true story. I went for breakfast with someone in the media landscape, and they're essentially in the middle, and they were saying, you know, creative agencies, there's stuff, there's too much for this, and distribution, blah, blah, and kind of having a big vent off. And I said, what you don't understand is that the stuff in the middle that we talked about before of, you know, a lot of the buying and the distribution and the placement and all these sort of things in the middle, a lot of that's going to get automated, and a lot of that's actually going to get existing squeezed. So what I said was, I think the middle is actually getting squeezed, and I actually think creative and the idea is actually going to become more important. Like I think that, and part of the things if that happens is you always, exactly to your point, you're always going to need the story to tell it, but you need the idea to be able to execute. So creativity will always be a variable, and I think that too often people are jumping on the wagon of this and that and not actually understanding that at the end of the day they need to tell a good story, but they need the cool idea to be able to do it. So ideas and creativity, I think, are going to actually become more and more valuable over time.
Yeah, creativity, production, distribution. That's how we see it.
Just like that.